This is Daily Armenia, CivilNet's daily news digest. Here's what you need to know today. Border talks between Armenia and Azerbaijan will resume at the end of the month with a meeting planned at an unspecified section of the two countries' border. That's according to the spokesperson for Armenia's foreign ministry, who announced the news today on her official Facebook page. A preliminary agreement has been reached for the Armenia-Azerbaijan Joint Border Commission to convene on November 30th, Ani Badalyan said, without elaborating. There was no immediate reaction from Azerbaijan to Badalyan's announcement. The news came just one day after Yerevan said it remains ready to resume engagement in talks in response to a statement from Baku indicating it wishes to replace Western-mediated efforts with direct negotiations. Armenia and Azerbaijan formed a joint commission to delimit and demarcate their border last spring, but publicly nothing has come of it so far. Delimitation refers to the process by which a border is legally defined, while demarcation involves physically marking a border, such as by building a fence or wall. As of now, the two countries' border remains undelimited and undemarcated, as it was once an internal Soviet boundary, and so formally defining it was not an issue of concern to the authorities at that time. The Commission's most recent meeting was in July, also at an unspecified section of the border. If confirmed, this month's meeting would be the Commission's fifth round of talks. Meanwhile, Armenian Deputy Foreign Minister Mnatsakan Safaryan confirmed to reporters today there are no plans as of now for any meetings of Armenia and Azerbaijan's top diplomats. The spokesperson for Russia's foreign ministry has decried what she termed Armenia's radical reorientation in foreign policy as ties between Yerevan and Moscow continue to fray. Dismissing Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan's insistence last month he is not changing the country's foreign policy vector as a blatant attempt to camouflage true intentions, Maria Zakharova insisted yesterday Russia sees everything and will draw conclusions accordingly. Continuing, she slammed Armenia's moves in recent weeks to snub Russian-led summits as not being in the long-term interest of the Armenian people, and lashed the West for seeking to oust Russia from the South Caucasus and destroy the security mechanisms that already exist in the region. Yerevan's reckless bet that the West will help them has failed spectacularly, Zakharova added. Armenia's relations with Russia, its traditional security guarantor, have worsened sharply in recent months, with anger and frustration mounting in Yerevan over Moscow's unwillingness or inability to come to Armenia's defense in line with its treaty obligations. At the same time, Armenia's ties with the European Union, particularly France, and the United States are expanding notably. And in domestic news, the Armenian government today formally ordered one of the country's richest business tycoons to provide legal justification for his acquisition of hundreds of millions of dollars worth of assets as part of a years-long corruption probe. In a statement, the Prosecutor General's office demanded Gagik Tsarukyan explain how he acquired 79 properties, 42 vehicles, an unnamed number of shares in 39 companies, and more than $214 million in cash. The total value of those assets was not made available. Tsarukyan did not immediately comment. Tsarukyan, who is widely known in Armenia by the nickname Dodi Gago, amassed a fortune during the privatization of formerly state-owned assets in Armenia after the collapse of the Soviet Union in the 1990s. He has long faced allegations of corruption even as his holding company, Multi-Group Concern, emerged as one of the country's most powerful and influential firms. Tsarukyan was one of the few oligarchs in Armenia who supported the 2018 revolution led by Pashinyan, but it is understood the two men fell out in 2020. Later that year, the Armenian government opened an investigation into Tsarukyan's finances, which remains ongoing. You can also check out CivilNet's latest interview with Canadian Senator Leo Housakis, who joined us this week to talk about Ottawa's evolving relationship with Yerevan and where ties between the two countries may be heading. You can find our full conversation with Senator Housakis up now on our website and YouTube channel. You can also catch the latest episode of CivilNet's Insight series. This week, host Eric Hakopian breaks down the implications of Azerbaijan's worsening relations with the United States and the significance of France's delivery this month of military vehicles to Armenia via Georgia. You can find the full broadcast up now on our website and YouTube channel. And finally, the CivilNet number of the day is 31.4. That's the average age of marriage for men in Armenia as of last year, according to the country's statistical committee. For comparison, 20 years ago that number was 27.1, a difference of more than 4 years. And as always, please follow CivilNet for the latest news and independent reporting from our contributors on the ground here in Armenia.